Did you know that long before the invention of writing or the telephone, ancient civilizations developed ingenious ways to communicate without saying a word? In today's video, we're exploring 6 incredible forms of nonverbal communication used by ancient civilizations, and the last one is my favorite. First up is cave paintings. Cave paintings are the oldest forms of communication. These striking murals date back to the Upper Paleolithic Age, around 30,000 BCE. Ancient people didn't just paint for art's sake. They used these illustrations to convey messages about their culture, beliefs, and survival techniques. The walls of caves became canvases for storytelling, documenting hunts, spiritual beliefs, and the passage of time. It was a form of visual language that could be read by anyone who encountered them, leaving behind a message for future generations. Next in the list is smoke signals. When words couldn't cross long distances, ancient civilizations turned to smoke signals. Used by cultures like the Chinese and Native Americans, this method was perfect for sending warnings or summoning help. Different smoke patterns, such as the number of puffs or the color of the smoke, could signal specific messages like danger approaching or safe passage ahead. It was an early version of long-distance messaging, allowing communication across vast landscapes where shouting wouldn't reach. Next up is the beat of the drum. For many African, South American, and Polynesian cultures, drums weren't just musical instruments. They were powerful tools for communication. By varying the rhythm, tone, and beat, they could send messages to nearby tribes or signal important events. In some cultures, the sound of a drum could be heard up to 7 miles away. It's incredible to think that entire communities once relied on drum beats to stay connected. Moving on to one of the most universal forms of communication, hand gestures. Even today, we instinctively use our hands to emphasize our words. But in ancient times, gestures often stood alone as a primary way to convey meaning. Whether it was signaling peace, aggression, or simply direction, different cultures had their own symbolic gestures. For instance, Native American tribes developed an entire system of sign language to communicate across linguistic boundaries. Perhaps one of the most fascinating forms of nonverbal communication comes from the ancient Inca of Peru. They used a system of knots called quipus to keep records and send messages. Each knot, its placement, and the color of the strings held specific meanings, encoding numerical information, history, and important events. In a society that didn't develop a written language, quipus were an essential tool for governing their vast empire. Finally, let's talk about body language, my personal favorite. Although it's the most subtle form of communication, it's incredibly powerful. From posture to facial expressions, even the slightest movement can convey a wealth of information. For example, leaning forward might show enthusiasm or commitment, while crossed arms could signal defensiveness. Ancient civilizations, just like us, relied on body language to express emotions, intentions, and social status, often communicating without uttering a single word. Which method surprised you the most? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you liked the video.